And we are back. Preseason predictions, week 4, the final week. Last week I went 9, 5, and 2. The games that I do not count ties towards my record, they count as ties. So the games I tied were the Browns, Eagles, which each tied at 18, and the Bengals, Falcons, which each tied at 13. Going over the other games, we'll do once we get to those teams. So starting out though, on August 24th at 7:30 p.m., we have the 2-0 Steelers at the 1-0-1 Falcons. We just talked about the Falcons and how they tied at 13 with the Bengals, and the Steelers surprisingly beat the Bills 27-17. With that though, I feel like the Steelers are going to kind of forget about the Falcons, and this is the most important preseason game as well, by the way, because this is the final week. So every single player is going to be fighting for a roster spot. And with that, I feel like the Falcons have more question marks for roster spots than the Steelers. I feel like the Falcons are going to fight for it more, and the Falcons are going to win. Speaking of another tie, we have the Colts and the Eagles. The Colts are currently 1-1. The Eagles are 0-1-1. Colts tie with the Browns at 18, we talked about. The Eagles did. And the Colts, they ended up beating the Bears 24-17. Same thing goes. I feel like this is, where roster spots are developed. And I feel like the Eagles, surprisingly, have more roster spots because I feel like they have the best roster in the league, and it's going to be very hard to, tell a lot of these guys who could easily be backups on another team. So I'm going to say the Eagles. Moving to next day, Friday, August 25th at 8 p.m., we have the Lions, who are 1-1, and the Panthers, who are 0-2. The Lions, they ended up losing to the Jaguars in a pretty bad 25-7 loss. And the Panthers, well, they're the Panthers. They lost 21-19 to the Giants. I think this is going to be a pretty easy Lions win. Why? Because I feel like the Panthers don't have a reliable quarterback. They're saying, Bryce Young is going to be QB1. He has not looked like a QB1. And I do not understand what you are doing if you are the Panthers. You signed Andy Dalton. Just throw Andy Dalton out there, man. A guy who's proven, he can manage a team. He may not be the best at his job, but he's a starting caliber quarterback. He may not be, a guy you keep around for more than a year, or in your case, 2. But let Bryce Young sit and learn for a year instead of just throwing him out there. I think the Lions are going to win. 8:15, just 15 minutes after, we have the Patriots, who are 1-1, and the Titans, who are 1-1. The Patriots, they ended up beating the Packers 21-17. By the way, I hope Isaiah, his family, friends, and more importantly himself, is doing well after the scary incident that did happen on the field that had to end the game early. And the Titans, they ended up, I want to say, winning 24-16. They did to the to the Vikings. I think the Titans are going to win this game. Why? Because I feel like this is the final week for Will Levis to have a chance at Malik Willis. I think Malik Willis is easily better than Will Levis. I've stated I think Malik Willis was the best quarterback coming out of that draft class. And he's already getting rid off. Maybe a Geno Smith type story? Who knows? But give me the Titans. Next at 10 p.m., we have the Chargers and the 49ers. Chargers and 49ers both 1-1. The Chargers, they ended up losing 22-17 to the Saints. Meanwhile, the 49ers ended up beating the Broncos 21-20. I think the Chargers are going to win this game. I feel like the 49ers don't really know where they're at. Trey Lance, they're writing him off. Brock Purdy, In my opinion, he is way overhyped, right? I think he's great. Don't get me wrong. But I think this is going to kind of be a 1-year wonder type thing. I think he's going to play solid enough this year, but then you're just going to see a slow decline until he's eventually solidified himself as a backup. And granted, I think he'll be one of the best backups in the league, but I don't think he's a starting quarterback, unfortunately. Give me the Chargers. Moving to the next day, 1 p.m. on the 26th now. We have the Bills and Bears. Both the B teams are 1-1. The Bills ended up losing 27-17 to the Steelers, and the Bears ended up losing 24-17 to the Colts. I think the Bears are going to win this game. Like I said, the Bears just have more to fight for. They have more unknown spots on their roster, which means these guys are going to play way harder for it. Seahawks-Packers now, still 1 p.m. Seahawks 2-0, Packers 1-1. The Packers, as we talked about a few seconds ago, ended up losing 21-17 to the Patriots. And the Seahawks, they ended up winning 22-14 over the Cowboys. I think the Packers are going to win this game. I think it's going to be very close. Same reason why I've said before. The Packers are just way more unknown. I think we know what the Packers roster is going to look like, but I don't think we know the depth chart. I don't think we know who's going to be the starter, the backup, the third string, because everyone on that team is so young and inexperienced that anyone has a chance. Meanwhile, the Seahawks, we kind of already know everything. It's just more of who's fighting for roster spots. Cardinals and Vikings. Cardinals 1-1. Vikings, they are 0-2. Cardinals, they ended up losing to the Chiefs 38-10, and the Vikings lost 24-16 to the Seahawks. I think this is where the Vikings really shine. They haven't done well all preseason. I feel like they're going to really, bring it all together in this final game. Because at the moment, it's not looking good for the Vikings. 13-4, you'd think, maybe they're probably not going to do as good because 13-4 is hard to beat, but they're probably a playoff team. From what I've seen from these preseason games, they don't look like they have the chemistry that they had going into last season. I feel like they're going to need to build that up, and it's going to be very bad if they don't have that ready by week 1. And I think they're going to luckily get it done this game. Final 1 o'clock game of today, we have the Browns and the Chiefs. The Browns 1-1-1, Chiefs 1-1. We talked about the Browns tying with the Eagles earlier at 18, and the Chiefs, we literally just talked about beating the Cardinals 38-10. I think the Chiefs have this game because I feel like the Chiefs are just going to get out to a good first quarter lead that the backups will be able, even if they don't play their best, will be able to hold on and get, the win. Moving to 6 p.m. now, we have the Jets and the Giants, the Battle of New Jersey. Not New York, Jersey. The Giants, they are 2-0. And the Jets, the Jets are 1-2. The Giants are 1-1. The Jets ended up losing 13-7 to the Buccaneers last week. And the Giants ended up, I don't know. They won 21-19. I think this is going to be a pretty, and I hate to say it, boring game. I think the Giants are honestly probably going to dominate. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to take the New York Giants. Next, moving back only 5 minutes, we have the Bengals and Commanders. The Bengals tied with the Falcons 13 all to make them 0-1-1. And the Commanders, they pulled it off. They beat the 24-win streak preseason Ravens 29-28, I believe, or no. Yeah. And I knew they were going to do it once Sam Cosmi came out and said it. I don't know why. I was just like, it just hit me. And obviously, I'm not going to change preseason picks. I do not care enough. It's preseason. But I think the Commanders are going to fall. They're looking too big at this Ravens game, and they're going to now lose to the Bengals. Next, speaking of the Ravens, we have the Ravens at the Buccaneers. Ravens lost 29-28 to end their 24-game win streak. And the Buccaneers won 13-7 to make them 1-1. I feel like the Ravens are going to quickly bounce back and get a very easy win over the Buccaneers. This is at 7 o'clock, by the way. Also at 7 o'clock, we have the Dolphins and the Jaguars. The Dolphins, they are currently 1-1, beating the Texans 28-3, and the Jaguars, they are currently 1-1. They ended up losing last week to the Lions, or no. I have this wrong. The Jaguars are actually 2-0. They ended up beating the Lions 25-7. I actually have that wrong. That's kind of awkward considering I literally picked the Jaguars to win. So yeah, I think the Dolphins are going to win this game though. I don't have a reason. I just think they will. 8 p.m. We have the Raiders and Cowboys. The Raiders 2-0. They ended up beating the Rams 34-17, and the Cowboys they are 0-2, losing to the Seahawks 22-14. Don't worry, Cowboys fans. Actually, you should probably worry because I have the Raiders winning this one. The Raiders just seem like a preseason team right now. This Josh McDaniel, Jimmy Garoppolo duo seems pretty hard to stop, and even without Josh Jacobs, they are showing they can do very well. Will this carry into the regular season? I'm 99% sure it won't. And same with the Cowboys. I'm pretty sure you guys will do well in the regular season. So don't worry, Cowboys fans. It's just preseason. Next, 9 p.m., final game of the day, Rams versus Broncos. Rams 0-2, Broncos 0-2. Rams, we just talked about losing to the Raiders 34-17, and the Broncos lost 21-20 to the 49ers. I think the Rams are going to win. Same reason with the Dolphins Jaguars. I just have a feeling, like we said, we don't really know what the Rams are doing right now, and it would be the Rams to win this game. In fact, the Rams don't know anything. They don't know their quarterback, or they probably do. They don't know really any of their roster, and this is going to be a good game to figure it out. Finally, ended off on the final day, August 27th now at 8 p.m. Texans and Saints. Texans 1-1. They ended up winning their game last week against the Vikings 24-16. Or excuse me, that is the Titans actually. Whoops. I don't know where the Texans are. Oh, never mind. Texans lost 28-3. Whoops. My fault. And the Saints won 22-17 against the Chargers. The Saints got this. Same reason why I think the Panthers are losing their games. CJ Stroud has not looked like an NFL quarterback. Why are you rushing him? You have Davis Mills. Davis Mills is by no means a bad quarterback. Just let him play. He will show you that he is a starter in this league. Just like Andy Dalton, he's not going to be a good, reliable one. You might give him a one-year deal to move on. But he's going to be that journeyman starting quarterback like Ryan Fitzpatrick was. Where, you have him just, have your rookie quarterback or a young quarterback rest, or a guy gets injured. Or you don't know, anything. Just give him a play. Don't throw CJ Stroud out there immediately. Let him learn. Don't, rush him. But that's going to do it. Teams I have winning are the Falcons, Eagles, Lions, Titans, Chargers, Bears, Packers, Vikings, Chiefs, Giants, Bengals, Ravens, Dolphins, Raiders, Rams, and Saints. Teams I have losing are the Steelers, Colts, Panthers, Patriots, 49ers, Bills, Seahawks, Cardinals, Browns, Jets, Commanders, Buccaneers, Jaguars, Cowboys, Broncos, and Texans. To recap, I went 9-5-2 last week. I will give an updated, how well I did next week with week 1 predictions as a total. Currently, I could do the math. I'm 8-9 through week 1 and 2, and then I'm 9-5-2. So if you want to do the math, but yeah, I will see you guys next time, where it will be the week 1 power rankings. Remember, power rankings come out on Tuesday, predictions come out on Wednesday. Goodbye. Hope you enjoyed.